Today, we're going to talk about something that can completely shift the course of your life, the power of goals. This isn't just a motivational chat, it's a deep dive into Chapter 1 of Jim Rohn's legendary book, The 5 Major Pieces to the Life Puzzle. If you've ever felt stuck, unmotivated, or unsure of what's next, this chapter might be the wake-up call you've been waiting for. Jim Rohn believed that everything begins with a goal. Without clear goals, you drift. You react to life instead of creating it. And the sad truth is most people never take the time to define what they truly want. They wake up, go through the motions, and hope that life just works out. But Jim didn't believe in luck. He believed in clarity, intention, and purpose. Setting goals, according to Jim, is not just a productivity hack, it's the foundation of a meaningful life. When you know where you're going, you walk differently, you speak differently, you live with fire. And the first step, write your goals down. Jim Rohn famously said, "Don't just think about your goals, write them down. Put them on paper, make them real." A goal that's not written is just a wish, but when you write it, you breathe life into it. You create a blueprint that your mind and actions can begin to follow, but these goals shouldn't be vague. You can't just say, "I want to be successful," or "I want to be rich." Jim's approach was direct, be specific. Make it measurable, set a deadline. I want to earn $100,000 this year. I want to read 12 books by December. I want to build a business that replaces my 9 to 5 income in 18 months. These are real, tangible goals, and they create focus. Once you've written your goals, you must revisit them every single day. Jim didn't set goals and walk away. He lived them. Your goals need to become part of your daily awareness. You should see them in your mind when you wake up and think about them as you go to bed. That's how you condition your brain to work toward them, even subconsciously. You see, goals are not just about results, they're about growth. The real value in setting a goal is not in what you get, but in who you become. When you set a goal to run a marathon, the reward isn't just the medal, it's the discipline you develop, the mental toughness you gain, and the belief that you can do hard things. Jim Rohn taught that the ultimate goal of setting goals is to grow into the kind of person who can achieve them, and that starts by building a vision for your life, a vision of who you want to be. What kind of lifestyle do you want to live? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Without vision, you're stuck reacting to life. With vision, you're designing it. He believed that goals were the bridge between dreams and reality. And building that bridge requires intentional, focused effort. You don't stumble into a better life, you build it. But let's be honest, setting goals is easy. Staying committed to them, that's where most people fall apart. Jim Rohn never sugarcoated this. He said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And if you've ever wondered why you start off strong, but fade out after a few weeks, it's not because you're lazy. It's because you haven't trained your discipline. Discipline is a muscle, not a gift. And like any muscle, it gets stronger when you use it and weaker when you don't. When you set a goal and don't follow through, you're sending a message to yourself. My word doesn't matter. Over time, this erodes your confidence. You stop believing in yourself because deep down, you know you don't keep promises to yourself. But every time you show up, every time you do the thing you said you would do, even when it's uncomfortable, you reclaim that belief. You build self-trust. And Jim Rohn knew that self-trust is the root of all success. That's why he emphasized starting small but staying consistent. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for a perfect moment. Motivation fades, discipline endures. If your goal is to become financially independent, then start today by saving $1. If your dream is to become a speaker, record a 60-second video. If you want to get fit, do 10 push-ups right now. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about doing something every day. Jim used to say, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. That's it, not magic, not luck. Just simple, consistent action. And here's where it gets even more real. Your goals are only as strong as your environment. Who are you spending time with? What are you feeding your mind? What kind of conversations are you having every day? Jim Rohn's most quoted line still echoes today. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your circle talks about success, ideas, discipline, and growth, guess what you'll start thinking about? But if your environment is full of complaints, gossip, fear, and blame, your goals don't stand a chance. Not because you're not capable, but because your environment is shaping your standards. Want to change your life? Change your circle. Now, this doesn't mean cutting everyone off. It means being intentional. Choose mentors. Follow people who are already living the life you want. Listen to voices that lift you up. Read books that stretch your mind. Watch videos that fuel your ambition. Because every day your goals are either being fed or starved by the voices you allow in. Jim Rohn believed in the power of association. He taught that one new conversation, one new idea, one new relationship could change the entire direction of your life. You're always one insight away, but you'll never hear it if you're surrounded by noise. So audit your environment. Who inspires you, who drains you, who challenges you to be better. You don't owe anyone your future, but you owe it to yourself to guard your goals like they matter, because they do. And when you combine goals with discipline and surround yourself with the right people, something powerful begins to happen. You develop momentum. Momentum is when your small actions start stacking up. At first, it's invisible, no results, no praise, just effort. But suddenly, your habits become part of your identity. You're not trying. To succeed, you're becoming the kind of person who succeeds. That's the magic Jim Rohn was talking about. And it all starts with a decision. I'm done living by chance. I'm ready to live by choice. And now we come to the most powerful part of this message, the realization that you have the power to design your life. Jim Rohn said, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. That truth hits hard, doesn't it? Most people are living someone else's plan. A job they don't love, a routine that drains them, a life that looks like it was chosen for them, not by them. But your goals, your vision, your dreams, they are your personal declaration to the universe that you're taking control. No more autopilot, no more excuses. From this moment on, ask yourself every single day, is what I'm doing today moving me closer to my goals or further away? And if it's not serving your future, have the courage to change it. Jim Rohn believed that change doesn't require a miracle, it just requires a decision. He often said, you cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. That means even if your life feels far from where you want it to be, all it takes is one decision, one shift, one committed action, and everything can start to move. But here's the truth many don't want to face. It's not supposed to be easy. Goal setting is exciting, but goal achieving, that's a test, a challenge, a grind. It demands more of you than you think you have. But when you face those demands, when you stretch, when you sacrifice, when you fall and stand back up, you don't just accomplish something. You become someone. That's the secret. The value of goals isn't in what you get, it's in who you become in the process. So set the kind of goals that scare you a little. Set goals so big that they require you to grow into a stronger, wiser, more disciplined version of yourself. And then be relentless. Review your goals every morning, visualize them, feel them, speak them into existence, and act on them daily. And when you're tired, remember this: the pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. Choose discipline, choose growth, choose your future. Jim Rohn's entire philosophy was built on personal responsibility. He didn't promise quick fixes. He promised that if you took ownership of your life, if you set goals, surrounded yourself with the right people, practiced small disciplines daily, and refused to quit, you would become unrecognizable 1 year from now. So if no one's ever told you this before, let me say it now: you have what it takes. You are capable of more than you know, and today is the perfect day to start. Pick up a pen, write the goal, feel the fire. Set the standard and walk toward the life you were meant to live, because as Jim said, success is something you attract by the person you become. So become that person. The time is now. Now let's go one level deeper, because Jim Rohn never believed goals were just about money, status, or comfort. He believed that real goals must align with your values, your inner truth, the part of you that wants to do something meaningful, not just achieve something impressive. He once said, "We must all suffer one of two things, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. But there's another pain. No one talks about the pain of never living up to your potential. That's the pain that haunts you in quiet moments. When you know you could be doing more, being more, giving more, but you haven't made that leap. That's why Jim taught us to set goals that serve others too. Yes, get rich. Yes, be successful. Yes, build a life you're proud of. But also become someone who lifts others. Set a goal to become a great parent, a better partner, a person who inspires just by the way they walk into a room, because goals rooted in contribution are the ones that light a fire that never burns out." Jim believed in success, absolutely, but not selfish success. He believed in legacy. That's why he wrote books. That's why he spoke around the world. That's why you and I are here today, still learning from him. So ask yourself, what kind of legacy am I building with my goals? Are you building something that lasts longer than you? Something that helps your family, your community, maybe even complete strangers? Because when your goals touch others, they gain momentum beyond what you can generate on your own. And here's a practical truth Jim emphasized: don't wait for motivation to hit. Build a system. Create routines that pull you forward even when emotions fade. Write your goals every week. Track them. Set reminders. Break them into steps. Keep them visible on your wall, your mirror, your phone background, wherever you need to see them. Make your goals part of your environment, not just your imagination. Because in Jim's world, goals were not fantasies, they were blueprints. You don't just dream a house, you draw the plan, you gather the materials, you build it brick by brick. Life works the same way. So take full ownership. If your life isn't where you want it to be, it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. And that's the true power of goal setting. Not just building a better life, but becoming the kind of person who can handle it, protect it, and multiply it for yourself and for others. So if today is your day, one welcome. Write the first goal, build the first habit. Take the first small, disciplined step. Because 10 years from now, you won't remember the struggle, but you'll remember this decision, and that's where your new life begins.